The Indian government's central unified tax. Let's turn our attention to that big story. The GST has brought in revenues of more than 1 lakh crore rupees. That's roughly 15 billion US dollars just last month. April is the first month in which the GST collection came in above the 1 lakh crore rupee mark since the rollout of the new indirect tax regime in July last year. India's Ministry of Finance has said that the buoyancy in tax collection under the GST reflects the upswing in the economy and better compliance. The total revenue earned by central and state governments in the month of April 2018 was at 32,493 crore rupees for the central GST and 40,257 crore rupees for state GST. The Finance Ministry had earlier said that the revenue gap of each state is coming down since the introduction of the GST, pointing out that the average revenue gap of all the states for the last year is at around 17%. The GST collection is shared between the states and the centre. So good news for the GST. It's the first time that the GST collections have gone over the 1 lakh crore rupee mark. Remember, there were a number of issues plaguing the rollout. Questions were raised on whether the governments were of both the centre and the states were prepared for the rollout of this mammoth new tax regime. Now it seems to be paying dividend finally. The Indian government's central unified tax, that's the GST, has brought in revenues of more than 1 lakh crore rupees. That is roughly $15 billion. That took place last month. April, remember, is the first month in which the GST collection has come in above the 1 lakh crore rupee mark. Now, the new indirect tax regime was rolled out in July last year. India's Ministry of Finance has said that the buoyancy in tax collection under the GST reflects the upswing in the economy and, of course, better compliance as well. WION Sumit Chaturvedi joining me live on the broadcast for more on that story. Sumit, lots of hurdles initially for the GST, but it seems to be paying dividend finally.
Well, absolutely, Aisha. It's been over 8 to 10 months since GST came into effect on July 1st last year. And since then, every month it was being counted how much of the collections. Initially, it dipped because the overall production and manufacturing also dipped because of certain backlogs during GST regime. So now it has come the whole thing has come a full circle, and today is the 1st of May, which means that it's 1 month after one complete financial year. The first month of financial year is clearly having a very good number as far as GST is concerned. $15 billion is a good number. It will actually, in a way, boost the prospects of government as far as the backing of economic reforms is concerned. Clearly, it has been always debated whether the reforms of GST and note ban were good or not. And note ban overall numbers were sometimes questioned by experts. But GST, now the numbers are before us, $15 billion of collection. It's a good number and the highest so far. So it's clearly a thumbs up for the government as far as economics is concerned.
All right, Sumit, thank you for joining us with that input. We'll, of course, keep track of that story.